the woman suddenly spewed out a large amount of green slime. Her pupils gradually contracted and her expression became wild. The teammate next to her was terrified. The teammate couldn't draw the gun fast enough to match the speed at which the mutated woman lunged at them. She grabbed onto the teammate's eyes. It turns out the teammate was a mercenary sent to rescue her on the island. So, what exactly happened on the island? Let's start with the protagonist, Kai-Si. Kai-Si is a laid-back mercenary. One day, a short-haired woman found him. Her name was Li, also a mercenary. She wanted Kai-Si to participate in a rescue mission. 2 days ago, an incident occurred at a research center on the northern coast of Canada. The daughter of the CEO of a biotech company went missing during the incident. Their mission was to find his daughter, Daisy. The research facility of this company is well known. It is said that they are researching ways to improve the human defense system. They also perform genetic enhancement surgeries on soldiers. Kai-Si initially didn't want to join, but Li offered an extremely high reward. In the end, he agreed willingly. The next day, the participants of the plan gathered in a warehouse. Li mentioned that the research center is divided into 2 parts, north and south. Therefore, everyone will be divided into 2 groups for the operation. After they finish searching separately, they will meet at the landing point. At this moment, Kai-Si was unaware of how dangerous this operation was. The helicopter quickly arrived at the small island. They split into 2 groups to conduct the search. The dense vegetation on the island made it difficult to find any traces of people. Li approached a flattened patch of grass and discovered the horrifically mutilated body of a staff member. Kai-Si and Mike, who were accompanying her, walked over to inspect. Mike took out his notebook to make notes. He also found a watch on the deceased. Then the 3 of them continued their search. They hadn't gone far when they came across another corpse. What exactly happened at the research center? Each person's mind was filled with doubt. Li entered the tent of the deceased to see if any equipment was functional. Meanwhile, Mike extended his hand to show Kai-Si the watch he had picked up, which was similar to the one on his own wrist. Chase tells Mike not to be too sensitive. The other group was moving along the waterway. The leader, Rocco, discovered a rope by the water's edge. He stared at the calm surface of the water, lost in thought. His companion, Baofu, interrupted Rocco's thoughts and urged him to continue searching for people. At that moment, Bill, who was guarding the helicopter, suddenly needed to use the restroom. He couldn't contact either team, so he went to the side of the forest to take care of his needs. Unexpectedly, he saw a bald person covered in blood. Bill quickly ran back to the plane to get his gun for self-defense. As a result, he unintentionally noticed a same model handgun lying on the ground. Without much thought, he continued to keep watch and observe his surroundings. At this moment, there was a chill in his ears. Bill stiffly turned around and was shocked to see a mutated zombie. The zombie scratched Bill's face with its claws. Then, the zombie broke Bill's neck with his bare hands. The zombie was also wearing a jacket with a fur collar. The zombie, piloting the helicopter, wanted to leave the small island. Unexpectedly, the helicopter collided with a barrier and exploded. The camera slowly focused on Bill's lifeless body. 2 identical handguns lay beside him. What exactly is going on here? Rocco's team saw thick smoke. They hurriedly ran back to the gathering point to assess the situation. As a result, they saw the crashed helicopter. Now the tools to leave the island are destroyed. They were all feeling frustrated. On the other side, Kai-Si's team discovered a survivor on the island. He was Dr. Yan, a researcher from the company's research center. Dr. Yan claimed that a tragedy had already occurred on the island when he arrived. He also knew where Daisy was, so he led the 3 of them towards their destination. Daisy was lying on the ground with half of her face covered in blood and flesh. They saw that their target person had already died, which saddened them. Seeing that it was getting dark, Lily decided to set up camp and rest in that spot. They planned to head to the meeting point after daybreak. At night, Doctor and Mike chatted outside the tent. After exchanging names with each other, the doctor became very excited upon hearing Mike's name. He ran back to the tent and took out a notebook. The appearance of this notebook was identical to Mike's notebook. The handwriting inside the notebook was also the same. However, the one he found had more content inside. Mike was unsure about what was happening. Just then, Rocco encountered an unexpected situation. Sounds of a beast's panting came from the forest. A gigantic monster appeared. It dragged Baofu deep into the woods. Rocco hurriedly followed to rescue him. He managed to scare off the monster by shooting in time. Dad, who stayed behind at the original spot, took off his cowboy hat. He nervously scanned the surroundings. A dark figure silently approached and knocked Jack's gun out of his hand. The figure pinned Jack to the ground and ripped his head off barehanded. Not only did the figure wear a cowboy hat, but it also looked very similar to Jack. Early the next morning, Mike's shout woke everyone up. He discovered that Daisy had miraculously come back to life. However, her mental state was not good. On the other side, Rocco and his group arrived at the campsite in the south. They used the equipment inside the tent to contact Lily. Rocco breathed a sigh of relief when he learned that they had found Daisy. Anyway, they had finally completed their mission. Mike had been guarding Daisy and gradually gained her trust. Finally, Daisy was willing to speak and tell the whole story. Her research team had arrived on the island 3 days ago. They quickly discovered a barrier here. Once humans entered, they couldn't leave. The most deadly thing was that a contagious disease suddenly broke out among them. The disease caused the research team members to turn into zombies one after another. The zombies started attacking the non-mutated humans. Daisy was also attacked by them. However, she was not clear about why she had come back to life. Dr. Yang quickly found the answer. He looked through Mike's diary that he picked up, which recorded content they had never experienced. Dr. Yan speculated that this island was not only surrounded by wormholes. The time and space on this island would reset every 3 days. This means that after 3 days, another Lily with the same team of mercenaries would enter the island to rescue Daisy. The previous group of people encountered monster attacks. Either they turned into zombies or died completely. The monsters that attacked Bill and Jack were the previous group's main characters. These writings were left by the previous few Mikes. At this moment, Daisy and the other person encountered zombies. Moreover, judging by the zombies' clothing and appearance, it should be the previous round's Kai-C. The zombies' cries reached inside the tent. Everyone grabbed their handguns warily. The doctor speculated that the massacre against them was about to begin. As expected, Rocco and Baofu were also attacked. The two quickly realized that the zombies looked just like themselves. Baofu even thought it was some kind of cloning technology. Rocco didn't hesitate to shoot. However, these zombies were not afraid of bullets at all. They lunged forward and overwhelmed Rocco. Another zombie also resurrected. Baofu's magazine was already empty. He could only draw his dagger and fight the zombies. Bo looks bulky but has a flexible body. He slit the zombie's neck with a knife. Finally, Rocco broke free and shot off the zombie's head. It turned out that the head was the zombie's weak point. Meanwhile, Mike was fighting against a zombie. The other party pushed him to the ground and beat him. In a critical moment, Mike stabbed the zombie's lower leg. Then he picked up his pistol and blew its head off. Mike didn't dare to relax and quickly went to rescue Daisy, who was trapped by zombies. Lily and the others heard the gunshot and prepared to go out for rescue. Dr. Yan held his notes and reminded the two to aim for the zombies' heads. They had just stepped out of the tent when they saw zombies that looked just like themselves. Kai-C didn't react in time and got scratched on the abdomen by the other zombie. Fortunately, Lily reacted quickly and shot the zombie's head, smashing it. The two teams, after intense fighting, successfully dealt with the first wave of zombies. However, they hadn't even had a chance to calm down from the tense atmosphere. Suddenly, Daisy vomited a large amount of green slime. She was about to turn into a zombie as well. Mike saw the same type of mutation with his own eyes and was stunned for a while. The next second, Daisy rushed over and tackled him, gripping his eyes tightly. When Chase arrives and kills Daisy, Mike had already passed away. The sun was about to set. Rocco, covered in blood, tried to contact headquarters. After his efforts, he finally received a response from headquarters. Headquarters stated that the rescue window had already closed. The entire island would be destroyed in 12 hours. After saying that, they immediately cut off communication. Rocco and Baofu suddenly lost hope. Without any support, how would they leave this island? In the evening, Baofu contacted Lily and informed her about the decision from headquarters. They were probably also part of the experiments conducted by the headquarters. The moment they set foot on the island, they became guinea pigs for those people. Rocco's memories were gradually coming back. He remembered that he had come to this island a few years ago to carry out a similar rescue mission, and he still came with Chase. The two found a boat and successfully escaped from the island. However, Kai-C had lost all his memories afterward. His own condition was also unstable. Kai-C remembered that they had entered the island on October 22, 2023. However, after escaping from the island back then, he had returned to 2021. Now, after 2 years have passed, they have returned to 2023. He and Rocco have returned to the island. Dr. Yan said that the time distortion must be caused by the wormhole on the island. They couldn't tell how many times this loop had occurred. However, if they wanted to leave this place, they had to find the boat from back then. The next day, everyone split up. They searched for the small boat based on Rocco's vague memories. The zombies in the forest were also active. They had to remain vigilant at all times. Lily and the other two found the small boat first. However, Rocco and Baofu were surrounded by zombies. The two of them stood back to back and started shooting. In no time, they ran out of ammunition. Now they had to rely on their knives to deal with the situation. However, the zombies were very strong. Rocco was knocked aside by one of them. Baofu quickly rushed forward to help. As a result, he was pinned down by the zombie. When Rocco kills the zombies, Baofu had already died. Before Rocco could finish feeling sad, another zombie appeared behind him. Moreover, it was holding a gun. Just as Rocco thought his life was about to end, Kai-C arrived and shot the zombie dead. As soon as the two of them were about to meet up at the shore, zombies rushed towards them. The zombie knocked away Rocco and pierced his chest with a thorn. Rocco urged Kai-C to leave quickly. Meanwhile, Dr. N noticed that Kai-C hadn't returned, so he secretly grabbed a wrench and knocked Lily unconscious. He untied the ropes and prepared to sail away. Fortunately, Kai-C arrived in time and caught hold of the rope. Just as the small boat approached the wormhole, Dr. N started to mutate. Lily held on and fought with the opponent. Seeing this, Kai-C quickly climbed onto the boat to help, but the two of them were severely exhausted and no match for the zombies. At this moment, Rocco on the island picked up a sniper rifle and shot Dr. Yen in the head, successfully saving them. Kai-C and Lily successfully passed through the wormhole, but the male protagonist lost his memory once again. A new reincarnation is about to begin. No matter how hard the main characters try to escape the island, they will be involved again. The movie ends. This is a story of countless cycles of killing oneself. This low-budget film was not well made. The acting skills of the actors were also mediocre. The setting of the story is pretty good. However, it would be better if the director paid more attention to details. The content of the movie does not hold up to scrutiny. Audiences expecting exciting action scenes might be disappointed. However, there are quite a few bloody scenes. Timid viewers should watch with caution.